Heidi ho! Heidi ho, my foreign visit friends. Now I'm kidding. Super excited about something I read or listened to in the Bible, the book of Esther. If you haven't read the story, it's about Esther, beautiful woman, marries the king, and Haman's the sidekick to the king. And this whole time this is happening, Haman, this wicked second-in-command guy, wants to destroy and kill all the Jewish people, God's chosen people. Sound like somebody during the Second World War, right? God knows every man's heart. He knows what man's going to do. So God is already putting all the pieces into play to save his people, and he's doing that through Mordecai. Mordecai comes, Esther comes. Esther's beautiful. King falls for her. King Xerxes falls for her. He marries her. It makes her the queen because his queen was being defiant. So God had to get her out of the way and get Esther into position. And the king marries her, and she's a Jewish woman. And Mordecai tells her, don't tell the king, that you're Jewish. Don't tell him of your nationality. Don't let anybody know. Keep it a secret. God's protecting the Jewish people. All of this, he's protecting his Jewish people. So the second in command, Haman, comes along, and Haman says to Mordecai, bow down and worship me, in a sense. And Mordecai's like, no, I'm not doing that, dude. I'm not bowing down to you, because Mordecai is Jewish. He's obviously a man of God. He's faithful to God. He's a faithful man. He believes in God. It doesn't say that specifically in the book, but that's the impression you get, because he's trying to protect his own kind. He's trying to protect his brothers and sisters, the Jewish people, and he's not going to bow down to no man. So of course, second in command Haman's really angry. So he decides right then and there that he's going to kill Mordecai first and then annihilate all the Jewish people. God knows this all along. Nobody else does, but God knows this. God knows this is all coming to play. So this is how God works. Now Haman is so blinded by his rage over Mordecai not bowing down to him, and he's so set on his sin and so set on the destruction of all of God's people, he starts to build a gallows in his own property, right? He builds this massive gallows, and he's going to hang Mordecai first. Mordecai's the first one to go. But here's how God's amazing. This is how God shows off. This is how good. This is why it's so important for us to give our lives to God and follow God, because God can see the future. God knows if somebody's out to get you. God knows what to do to protect you. And if you're a man or a woman of God, he's going to protect you. He's going to protect you. That's what he does. He protects his children. If you acknowledge his name, you honor him and worship him, he's going to protect you. Because he can see the future, he can see the past, he can see the present. So he sees all of this coming into play. He knows Haman's going to pull all this stuff. He knows that Haman's going to, take Mordecai out first. He's going to take his people out. So, God's on it, man. He's on it. So the way it's all going to play out is Esther puts in a request to the king that she's looking for something, but she won't tell him right away. And she says, she knows of Haman's plan to hurt Mordecai and the people. So she wants to bring Xerxes, King Xerxes, and Haman, his second in command, and she invites him to a banquet. And she wants to put forth a request. The king wants to know the request. She says, no, not until you come to the banquet where I can honor my king, and then I'll give you my request. Well, what she was going to request was, she was going to reveal what Haman was up to. She was going to reveal this big secret. But she didn't do it yet. She was holding back. She was holding back because God was holding her back. It wasn't God's time. It wasn't time to reveal yet. So Mordecai is aware of what's going on, and so in the process of all of this, two of the king's officials had plotted and planned to kill the king, and Mordecai just happened to overhear the plan. See how God works? See how God is revealing things? See, whatever's done in the darkness will be brought to the light, according to the word. So Mordecai overhears these two plotting and scheming to kill the king. So he goes to the king's officials and says, hey, these two are going to do this. So it's investigated, and it finds out that, hey, these guys were really going to kill the king, and that was the end of it. They were hung, and that was it. It was done. See how God's working? See how God's working? Now Mordecai has saved the king's life, right? Haman wants him to bow down to him and worship him. But so back to the banquet. We're getting ready to have the banquet, but before the banquet takes place, King Xerxes can't sleep one night. He's tossing and turning, tossing and turning. You know, and I know that that's God, that's the Lord, right? That's the Lord. And he says to his officials, "Get me the Book of Chronicles. Somebody read me the Book of Chronicles." And he reads the Book of Chronicles. In the Book of Chronicles, it talks about, it's called Mordecai saving the king by revealing this plot. And the king didn't realize that Mordecai had come forward and given this information. So he says to his officials, he says, what has been done for this man that has saved the king? I want to honor him with a royal coat, and I want to make him second in command of the land. So now think about something. Haman's second in command. You see how God is moving Mordecai into a position, Haman's position, his enemy's position. See how God's already making plans and maneuvering things to get the Jewish people's enemy out of the way, get Mordecai's enemy out of the way. That's pretty cool how he's doing that, right? So the day of the banquet comes, right? And before the banquet before the banquet actually takes place, Mordecai's brought in. And Mordecai, in front of Haman, is being honored. And Haman's like, what is going on here? And then a few hours later, there's the banquet. And then the Esther reveals Haman's plan of wanting to kill Mordecai and the Jewish people. So here's Mordecai and Jewish people's enemy watching the king of Mordecai, the leader of the Jews, be honored by the king. Now he's probably thinking, like, what's going on here? The guy won't bow down to me. I want to kill this guy and his people, but now the king's honoring him. So now Haman's in a spot, man. He's in a really bad spot. As long as he can keep his plans of hanging Mordecai quiet, and as long as he keeps his plans of killing God's people quiet, he'll be all right. Here he was going to go to the king and get a decree to hang Mordecai and to kill his people. But you see how God put up the block? You see how God already knew Haman was going to move, and God already put into play, wait a minute, this guy saved the king. The king's going to know about it. Haman, you've got no power now to hang Mordecai or his people. So now what are you going to do? So then there's the banquet, and Esther brings forth her request. And her request is the man who was going to kill all the Jewish people. She reveals it. And he's like, who's this man? King Xerxes becomes very angry. Like, who would hang this man, Mordecai, who saved the king? And why would this guy want to kill the Jewish people, including you, Esther? Because now she reveals that she's Jewish as well, and that Haman wants to kill not only Mordecai, but he wants to kill her, the queen. So he's really flipping out furiously. Who is this? And Haman's there this whole time at this banquet, hearing her talk, hearing her reveal all of this to the king. Now the king is furious, and what do you think happens? What do you think God does? God not only moves his enemy, Mordecai's enemy, Esther's enemy, his chosen people's enemy out of the way, but then the king hangs Haman on the very gallows that he was going to use to hang Mordecai. Isn't that amazing how God does those things when you're his children, when you're his people? So I guess I'm excited about the story because all those cool things that God did, but whatever's going on in your life right now, whatever situation you find yourself in, especially if you're in a situation with other people, if you're a child of God, or you're following God, you're worshiping God, you're trusting God, God's working it out. God's working it out. See, Mordecai had no idea God was working it out. Esther had no idea what was going on. And if you notice, every key player in this story is only getting tidbits, right? Until the end, when it all comes together at the banquet. And everything is out in the open now. And God reveals this one was going to do this one was going to do this one was going to do this, and this one. And in the process of all of this, they move the enemy out, and they put the man of God into a position of power so that he can lead his people, become second in command because he saved the king. It's crazy, cool, awesome, amazing when you follow God, live for God, and give God your life, because he is going to do things in your life that you don't even realize that he's doing. He's doing things right now. As I'm telling you this story and sharing this with you, God is putting all the pieces to play in your life. Little pieces here, things you can't see. You have no idea. You have no idea. But that's why you have to just get up in the morning, thank him for the day, trust him, and let him lead the day. Let him take you. Just acknowledge him, thank him, praise him, worship him, honor him, be a good servant of the Lord, and he will direct your path, is what it says. Many are the plans of a man's heart, but it's the Lord that will guide your steps. So be faithful, trust, stand in trust, and he will He will deliver whatever situation you find yourself in. That's a guarantee. Y'all be encouraged. God bless you. I hope this message helps someone. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Have a great day.